Hey, what up, folks? Jerky Jones here. So today's video, I just wanted to kind of rant and rave about Starbucks coffee and tell you about, every time I go to Starbucks, I get it. It trips me out, man. There's something just about that place that really gives me a weird vibe. Um, and I think I might know what it is. And I'm going to talk about it in this video. So, yeah, I mean, I like Starbucks coffee. All right, their coffee's good. But the whole place and the whole scene and everything, it just gives me like this such fake, superficial popularity contest kind of vibe when I go there. And it's like a gigantic, ultra corporate, mega global conglomerate coffee shop that pretends and kind of gallivants around, masquerades as your local friendly family coffee shop. Come on by, and this and that. But then you go there, and it's like, to me, it doesn't give that vibe. It gives like just a fake, like rushed atmosphere, in and out, never-ending carousel of consumerism. If that makes sense, if I'm explaining that properly. So, like, for instance, like I said, I do go there here and there. The sun came out. We just got hot. But, so I got a gift card to go there. So I was like, yeah, I'll swing by and get a coffee today. And there's a couple of things I noticed that just, again, it's just weird, man. So I'm sitting there and I got my coffee. And first off, it was cold when I got it. I was like, oh, this is like lukewarm. I was like, whatever, fuck it. I'm not gonna make a stink because then I gotta wait 5 minutes for them to brew new pots. I was like, whatever, I'll just drink the bloody thing. But remember that, okay? Remember the cold coffee. So like I'm sitting there and looking around. There's only one other person in the store, and the drive-through was never ending. So busy. There was like 7 workers behind the counter, and they were non-stop moving around, hustling, bustling, pumping syrups, pouring drinks, blending ice, whatever. The drive-through was like a non-stop thing to the drive-through. And even inside, it was a pretty steady lineup, but only me and one other person was sitting there. And there was the coffee pickup area, and I didn't see a single coffee. It was all like iced coffees and blue and red drinks and blended mixes with creams and stuff. Not a single just regular coffee cup. It was all, I could see through everyone. And they're all like, the $7, $6, $8 drinks. And so but it was funny because they would come up, the people behind the counter making them, and it was only me and one other person, and we both had our drinks. And they'd be like, order for Bree. And they would set it down. And then 2 minutes later, or less than, like 20 seconds later, they'd be like, order for Jessica. And there was like 7 or 8 drinks on the counter. And every time they'd be like, order for 2. And I'm like, why are you calling out order for this person? They're not here. Like, there's no one here. Like, you're calling it out. There's not a single person here except me and the person you already served. So that was trippy. So everyone's doing online orders. And then as the cups were building up, someone would come in, and it was always a woman, which is another point I'm going to make after. But it was always a woman. Woman would come in, doesn't even go to the front counter, just walks up to the pickup counter. None of the employees would check her or question or be like, oh, what's your name? Is this yours? They just walk up, look, grab one of the drinks, walk out. And I was like, this is weird. Like, I could just walk in at any time and just walk up to the counter and grab a drink and pretend like it's mine and walk out and never even paid for the bloody thing. So that was kind of trippy. And then the other thing I noticed with Starbucks too, which, like I said, it was all women. And most of the time when I go to Starbucks, it's always like women from the age of like 15 to 35, in and out, getting drinks, buying things. And I just find it really interesting how they've really targeted this demographic. And I've never seen a Starbucks ad or commercial on YouTube or anything. So I don't know, they ain't targeting me, but they've made it really popular or something for like I don't understand where the dynamic is, or how the psychoanalytics behind it, but they've really pinpointed a certain demographic, and it seems to be like the age range of the women I mentioned. Because I did meet a woman last year who's 25, and she's like, oh, I go to Starbucks like 3 times a day. She's like, I spend like $30 a day on Starbucks. And I was like, holy shit. I'm like, that's a lot of money, man. And I did the math. It's like thousands of dollars every year. And she's like, I know. She's like, it's my addiction. I want to quit. Like, or she's like, I got to slow down. But she's like, I just love going. And then I was watching this YouTube video, and it was this like Jewish rabbi guy that gives financial advice, and he was talking about Starbucks in one of these videos, and he's like, oh, they don't sell you coffee, they sell you an experience, they sell you emotion. You see your name on the cup and you think you're special, and you want that little bit of connection and something like that. I could see it, I get it, I get it. It's not really for me. I will tell you why I do go to Starbucks. But at the end, but yeah, it's not something I feel I need to go all the time. It's not a status symbol for me. It's not anything like that. I really kind of don't care about any of that kind of stuff. But apparently it hits home for a lot of women. So I'm curious as to why they focused on that and how they've targeted so much and why it works. It's fascinating, actually. But again, it's a vibe that trips me out, because I can't help but sit at the restaurant and think of these things and go like, why is it all women? Why is it so fake feeling? Why is it like, I don't know. It's weird, man. It's just weird. For me, at least. But here is the one redeeming factor. All right. Their coffee tastes friggin' good. And it's really strong. And it's a little bit more expensive than, Tim Hortons or other chain coffee shops, but boy, I tell you, it is the crack cocaine of coffee. It is strong and it is so delicious. Like, I always get just regular. I get it in a large cup, but I get a medium or a grande or a venti. I don't know what the hell their sizes are, but I usually get it in a large cup so I can add milk and some brown sugar and like their little raw sugar packs. And fuck, the coffee's so good. And you drink one of them and you're buzzing for the day. So that's why I do go there, and I can see people getting addicted to that. But yeah, like I said, every time I go, a lot of times I've gone, and they're like, oh, we don't have any coffee ready. Do you mind waiting? We'll brew it. And I'm like, how do you not have any coffee ready? Your coffee shop should be going nonstop. But they're not selling coffee. They're selling cold brew, ultra expensive drinks with people's names on it as an emotional connection, I guess, right? So anyways, that's all. That's my little rant, whatever, about Starbucks. Let me know if you catch that vibe, if you feel the same, or if you freaking love it, or whatever. Try to help me explain and understand this coffee company. It gives me the same kind of vibes as when I'm at church. I don't know what it is. I'm going to make a video on that too one day. But I've gone to church a couple times in the last, 6 months. And I like it. It's cool. But I get the same kind of a weird vibe where I'm questioning things, and I go, oh, are these people really that excited about God, or are they just like, is that the social pecking order of the church group, and they're at the top and they're pretending? And I don't know. I can't help but think certain things. But anyways, that's all I got to talk about. I just wanted to talk about Starbucks, and how, especially if I rip the vape before I go in or smoke one, I get really weirded out. But yeah, that's my video. Just a little rant and rave about Starbucks. All right, folks, keep watching. Lots of videos to come. Random shit. We're always on an adventure. What it do? Jerky Jones. Mwah. Love yous. Peace.